Hey, we're back. We got some long-term results on our Dromida Backbone. What I like, what I didn't like, what I've upgraded. I've since done a few little tweaks to it, nothing crazy. First off, I put these Arma Clips on here. You can maybe zoom in and see these. These are pretty nice. They get the little lanyards to them. So when you pull the pins out, they don't get lost. And you simply drill a hole in the body on either side of the post. Push it in. I use a little bit of lube on it, pull it through, works just fine. I have them on the back as well. I had to drill a hole here, and then again, voila. So let's get these pins off and see what I've done. But in the meantime, we got so the battery pack, you can almost get to it. You know, like, why pull the body off just to pull the battery pack out? So I've got a different strap up front that's looser, and you can play with it, get the battery out, get the new battery back in, so you don't have to pull the pins, pull the body. You can just hot swap the batteries more or less. Works out okay. The straps could take a little finagling, but it works all right. My issue I had was the battery box broke. Let's get into that. So the battery box, you see here, broke. And so I ran the strap through the screw. Now the battery boxes are pretty cheap. You can get aftermarket battery boxes. Just depends on what you want to do. If you want to get another one of these or you want to make it work. So as the story goes, it's been slammed into a wall twice, not by me, but by my son, who's old enough to know better. But so the first hit took out the bumper, the brace here. It's this Y brace on the bumper. It took that out, broke it. That was apparently a straight slam, full throttle into a wall, running the 2S LiPo. We'll get to those in a minute. So the bumper's compromised at that point. And then after that, he caught the lip on my driveway, pretty much stopped it dead, and that's about all she wrote. So enter in some new parts. So this is the transmission casing here. So you can see this. So it didn't look this bad from the beginning. I tried to plastic weld it, but it's not a plastic that lends itself well to plastic welding. And the different types of rods I had just wouldn't even meld to it. It almost feels like, I'd say it's a high carbon type of a plastic. I'm not sure. But so right here is where the motor fits in. The motor sits on a flange. It doesn't actually screw into a mount per se. It's more of a flange, and the flange is a pressure fit in here. So you can see here where the arch is, that's what's supposed to be, and it fits up in this groove here, 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 and here. Well, I'm missing 3 of those grooves. They literally just busted off. So I'm not able to fix the car at that point. Initially I saw this was split. So I did go online. I found the Hellion Rock Rider, or Rock Racer, whatever they call it. It was Rock Rider. And I found the upper transmission half, and I was like, cool. And then I got it apart more, and I was looking, and then I realized the tabs were broken off here. So I had to get the lower transmission half. Good luck finding it. I couldn't find it. So how do I have a new one, you ask? I called Dromida. There's the number right on your owner's manual. I had the part number, which is, the part numbers are ungodly stupid on there because 85 is an 85 and yada yada yada. So you have to just basically look, find the one that's marked for the transmission lower, and that was this. So I called Dromida. I sat on the phone for a little while. Granted, it was towards the end of the day and they're probably pretty busy. The guy was really nice. He wasn't familiar with the Backbone, being it's brand new. Pulled it up on the system, and sent me this out for free. I told him straight up, I did not lie. I was like, I ran into a wall and it broke. It's totally on me. It's not a manufacturer's defect, and I couldn't get it at my local hobby town because he saw that, you know, nobody has it in stock, nobody's carrying it, but they have it on their internal inventory. So I ordered it this week and I got it within like 3 days. Now, you know what? Today's Sunday and it arrived on my doorstep today, possibly last night. It was mailed out Friday. So that's pretty quick shipping, and I'm very happy with that. So customer service was phenomenal. Dealing with the guy was great, and that they sent me the part for free. I mean, granted, they're probably only a few dollars. I think the upper cost me about $4. I ordered this for the Helion Rock Rider. Again, it's the same part, it's the same truck, just rebranded because they killed off the Helion line. But I love the truck. The motor wound up being cockeyed and all, but the gears are good. It didn't mess up any of the gears. I didn't sit there and keep trying it or anything. I knew as soon as it didn't move, hands off, don't touch. So it did knock my ESC loose. So that's fixed. I put a little Gorilla Glue under that. I can cut that through with a razor if I need to swap it out. I just didn't feel like firing up a hot glue gun and dealing with all that. So the Gorilla Glue is holding it great on there, and it works fine. Since fixing it, I have slammed it into 3 trees just today alone. I mean, wide open 2S into the trees, and then I bounced it off of the driveway lip once. It sounded like a good shot, but hey, everything's holding up pretty good. The bumper's fine. The lip here's a little, you know, shows a little gouges. Now, what might be a deal breaker for some of you, the chassis is tweaked. These are $25. So if you're gonna not get the car because of a $25 piece, you probably shouldn't be into RC at all. So they're a little tweaked right here. So if you can get this in the camera. Right here, you can see it's no longer flat. And on the flip side, it's no longer flat. So what I'm considering doing is stripping it down, giving it to my son who's a fabricator, and having him bead roll a new aluminum pan, which will inherently make it stronger, because then you'll have edges to it. You know, it's got to bend more than just a flat piece of aluminum, which is all this is. So I do like the aluminum chassis. It's sharp looking. With the plastic hoof bent, you know what, the plastic might have bent but retained its shape, so I can't say. It does affect the rear fitment of the body just a little bit. I do have to just push down on it a little bit to get the pins to line up. So there probably will be a new chassis in my future. I'll update you guys on that. Let's get a little better look at the battery box here, if I can pull you in here. So you can take this and slide it in under the strap while you have the battery on, and fit right in the battery box, just like that. So it works great. I can pull it out, slide it in, and it's not going anywhere. What I think happened was this must have let loose on one of the slams into the wall, and then the battery basically became a projectile to knock the ESC loose. The ESC is just fine. Everything's just fine about this. I did crank up some of my spring pressures because they are just way too soft from the factory. So it's a little more manageable now when you're running it at speed with the 2S. Speaking of speed, I've done some top speed runs, and I'll show you here. Yep, you read that right, 17 miles an hour. So that's not bad, you know, for what it's supposed to be. It's, you know, not a race car. Honestly, debatable, it's not really a rock crawler either, but that's on 2S LiPo. It's these here. I'll show you there. I get these off of Amazon. A 2-pack of them was like $35. It's the Povoi 5200 milliamp hour. It's 7.4 volts. So they plug in, they charge up. My son and I both use those, and they've been great for quite a while now. The tires aren't showing any real signs of wear. They're holding up really well. And as you saw in the intro, man, she really you can really have a good time with this riding around. Wheelies, it'll pull a nice wheelie if you get the rollback going. You got some good traction. My issue this morning trying to get some footage was it was wet out, so she'll spin the tires before she takes off. She does have some good torque. It's not a low speed, oh my god, I can just crawl over everything kind of truck, again because of the open diffs, and it doesn't have quite the gearing that a crawler would have. The motor does get a little warm. I can still, I just got done running it, I can still get my hand on it. I'm a mechanic, so my hands are a little more used to dealing with heat, but it's not bad. So all the slamming and banging with this, nothing in the front end's tweaked. Not had any issues with that other than having to replace the bumper, which was a Helion Rock Rider bumper. It's the same exact piece. And the battery tray is busted. It's simply 2 screws. You can swap it out. You can find them online under Helion Rock Rider. There's no parts available yet for the Dromida Backbone that I've been able to find, so you just got to look at the Helion parts. I'm probably going to do a few little upgrades. They have a nice blue anodized rear differential cover. Just a nice accent. I don't think it's necessary to beef anything up on this. But again, Dromida Backbone, it's been great so far. There's nothing wrong with the original nickel metal hydride battery. It worked great in it, but I just got a little extra oomph and juice out of the 2S. It was a worthy upgrade, so if you're going to buy batteries for it, get the 2S. Just make sure you get the right plug on it, and you can ride all day with this. Between the 2S batteries I bought at once and the nickel metal hydride. Nickel metal hydride is good if you have a kid. That's where this would really shine. If you have a kid, leave the nickel metal hydride in there so you don't have as much torque, or you can control your throttle trims, play with that. You can set your top speeds. So, and you could use the 2S LiPo, which is still going to give you a lot more life on it. That's just things to consider on it. So my thoughts were, I let my granddaughter use it, and barring the top speed runs and stuff, she was having a blast with it. The battery lasts a real long time using the 2S, and it's very capable. 17 miles an hour isn't a super duper high speed that's really gonna trash anything or anything that's going to get out of hand too quick. And with the ground clearance, the tires, the suspension setup, it's a fun little buggy. They love running it around. It rides over almost all the terrain you can throw at it. So hey, maybe this is for you, maybe this isn't for you. I hope these videos help you make that decision. If it did, give me that thumbs up and consider subscribing. It's mostly mountain bike content. I throw in some RC stuff every now and then, and who knows what else there might be thrown in. So have a great day and keep on riding.